Tanja Thompson, sometimes I have to wonder the same thing, but it all began with the 35 days of furlough. That's when Tanja decided that she needed to reinvent herself. And one of the ways she decided to reinvent herself was to find out what her purpose was. She needed to find her voice. She needed to help others move from their tragedy to their triumph. I've had a number of different beginnings of journeys. It can be with breast cancer, a son that had a liver and kidney transplant at 14 years old. They only gave him 18 months. Now it's 5 years later, and they didn't expect him to last that long.
One of her biggest takeaways from this is that how strong and how powerful a lady she is, how she persevered through all of that. And really, a lot of us didn't even know it. Just didn't know it. And just extremely proud of her and how strong of a person she is.
You look fantastic. You feeling? I see that. I see.
Granny taught me the value of prayer. She was my mentor. Granny had a certain way of saying things. She would say, "Baby," or "little girl, hold on to what you got and let the rest of it go."
We know this is purpose, right? You walk out there, that means you leave every pain, every angst, every hard time, everything you had to overcome. You leave that on the stage.
Yes.
You tell the story in its truth and its integrity. This is the most important moment. Everything else in the room stops. Somebody in that room need that same passion, that same pain, that same purpose that's in you. And that's what I was saying when you went up there. The same energy you gave right here. Put on that red dot.
All right. Breast cancer, the big C. It was unforgiving. It was depressing. It didn't care that I was a senior master sergeant in the Air Force. It didn't care that I was a mother, that I was a sister, that I was an aunt. It cared about none of those things. I would often write in my journal. It was my only sense of sanity to get out, to understand. And as I would write, I remember, I'm a senior master sergeant in the Air Force. People look at me in admiration, not in pity.
Well, I've known Tanja for more than 20 years, and I never really fully knew her story about breast cancer. It was pretty emotional for me and hard to deal with because she's one of my very dear friends. We've been there through a lot of the tragedies in the family. They've always just come through. They smile, they shine through it all, and we're just so proud of them because they're so successful even through all of this.
In the United States, 220,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer each year, 40,000 of them dying. 95% of breast cancer diagnoses are women over 40. 1 in 8 will receive a breast cancer diagnosis in their lifetime. Women and men, because they get breast cancer too. So let me just reiterate, early detection is the key, because early detection saved my life. join a breast cancer support group. Now, don't get me wrong now. I'm gonna be honest. It was an intervention with my husband and my boss. They recognized that I needed help. I knew I needed help, but I was afraid to ask. During these times, it was an opportunity for me to express myself with other women. I also learned that I had a voice. So now I coach, I speak, and I help other individuals move from the tragedy of their life to the triumph.
I thought it was amazing seeing someone go through something so dark and then being brought to the light. I think it's fascinating. I think more people need that push in life and to be seen and to be shown what really brings them out.
Well, there's going to be tragedies in life, and being optimistic and knowing that there's a silver lining and that there's always light. It's darkness before light. So that's a very powerful message.
After the TED Talk, I want people to change. I want people to see from my story, my tragedies, that they can move into the light of triumph, and that the pearls of wisdom that I give is not just for one thing. It's for any time you feel that you are in darkness, anytime that you are feeling like you are hopeless, anytime you feel that you are depressed, that just take one smidgen of my pearls to help move you from darkness into the light of triumph. This one tragedy is just one. Now, with all of this, take one something and incorporate it into your life so that you can move from the tragedies of your life to the triumph. My granny, she taught me how to pray. She taught me to have faith in God. If you want to get out of the tragedy and darkness of your life, you got to plug into a different energy. Whatever inner God, whatever inner faith, whatever higher calling, that's it. Without it is living in the absence of light. Thank you, Granny.